Hi everybody, and welcome to Everyday Manna. Today we are going to be making some Christmas cookies. You know, a lot of people have cookie exchanges, or they take a dessert or a cookie, or during the holidays we just want to have a sweet just sitting around our house to nibble on, and cookies are one of those things that everybody loves. I can remember when I was a child, my mom always made, I have not been able, she would make these wreaths, the chocolate, or not chocolate, but white marshmallows tinted with green food coloring, and do it over corn flakes and then use little red hots or something like that for decorations. I can't bring myself to make those yet, but she always had a table full of cookies at the holiday season. So we're going to get started on some of just some cookies that maybe you have never made, that you just want some new ideas. The first one is going to be a shortbread. Now, shortbread, I don't know. It'd be a toss-up between shortbread and sugar cookies. I don't know which would be my favorite, but I love shortbread cookies. And so we're going to make a peanut butter shortbread. Now, in my little mixer here, or my little food processor, because I can't find the blade for my big food processor, I got to search for that. I've got about half a cup of light brown sugar, and I'm going to add some peanuts to that. And I'm going to pulse these until they resemble kind of like, I don't know, coarse sand. I just really want to pulse those peanuts, not to the point of peanut butter, but very, very fine. So we want to just pulse this down. It's very loud. Let's go a little bit more, not too much. There we go, that looks good. You see how that's just kind of, I don't know, I've got my cameras going here. Just very coarse mixture, that's what you want. So we're going to set that aside for just a minute. And we are going to, I'm going to use a stand mixer, but now you could use whatever you wanted to do. We're going to whip together some peanut butter. I'm using smooth peanut butter because I've got the peanuts in that other mixture. So you really do not need to use crunchy peanut butter in this. And the rest of the brown sugar and some vanilla. And we're going to whip that together until it's very, very light and fluffy. Just kind of let that go for a second. In this bowl, I have some sugar, some cinnamon, and some nutmeg, and just a pinch of salt. And I'm going to whisk that together and just set that to the side. Oh, it smells so good. I love the smell of cinnamon. All right. Now, I have flour in front of me. Oh, my word. On very low speed, a little bit at a time. Do not add all of it at once, or you are going to be wearing the flour. Let me scrape down my sides. Anytime you're using a stand mixer, you're going to need to scrape that down. It just is part of it. All right. Now, shortbread is a thicker dough. That's good. Let that go for just a second. We'll see how that comes together. Might need to add a little more peanut butter. We'll see. Yeah, I think I probably do need a little tiny bit more peanut butter. I don't really like this attachment too much for this. Let me switch over to my little, this. This is a better choice for this. I love my KitchenAid mixer. I have one at home that I have had, got it for my wedding 25 years ago, and that thing is still going strong. I need to add a little more peanut butter to this because it's a little bit on the dry side. I don't think I had quite enough. Now you want to have, they're going to get my extra peanut butter for me. Now shortbread dough is supposed to be a thicker dough. I don't think I added quite enough. You need a pan of some sort. You need either a like an 8x8-inch pan that you've made a sling to lift it out of, or actually a shortbread tart pan would be fine. I'm using just a regular tart pan that has the little removable top or bottom, and I'm going to add, or I sprayed it. I put a little piece of parchment paper, and I'm going to add just a little bit more. I don't think I put enough peanut butter in that. You don't want too much, but let's see if that does better. And we're going to add in our peanuts and our brown sugar mixture. And that'll make a dough. Let's scrape all the bottom up. All righty, I forgot to add the butter. So you will need 2 sticks of butter that are softened at room temperature. Add that in and just whip it just like this. And by the way, if you have a KitchenAid stand mixer, they make this little paddle attachment that has like the rubber side. That thing is fabulous in your KitchenAid. All right, once you have your dough whipped together, you want to put it in your tart pan or your shortbread pan or whatever you're using. And then press it down with your clean hands. Press it firmly. Oh, it smells so good. I mean, really, peanut butter, okay? Peanut butter's delicious, no matter how you call it. Peanut butter smelling, oh, this is so good. I love shortbread. My niece, Kayla, makes the best little shortbread cookies. I need to get her recipe. Oh, they're so good with a cup of coffee. All right, press that in your pan. Take a fork and just kind of poke some holes in the dough. And then take that cinnamon, nutmeg, sugar mixture that we had a little while ago that we mixed up. Grab a spoon and sprinkle that over top. Oh, that nutmeg, cinnamon, oof, of your shortbread. This needs to bake at 325 degrees for about an hour. 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the size of your pan and the thickness of your dough. And then it just needs to cool. I don't want to waste a second of that. All right, I'm going to pop this in the oven, and when I come back, we're going to start on another cookie. I'll be back in just a minute. All righty, now our shortbread is in the oven, and we are going to make a cookie that I bet not many of you have heard of. One of my favorite little candies is a malted ball. I love those things with the chocolate coating on the outside. Well, we're going to make a cookie that's kind of like a malty ball cookie. In my stand mixer, I have 2 sticks of butter, or a cup of butter, and I'm going to cream that with some sugar. You want to cream that really, really well until the butter, which mine really could have been a little softer, but it'll work. It's okay. Once you get that mixed, add in 1 egg, some salt, a little bit of vanilla. Let that go. Let's get that turned up just a little bit. Oh, that vanilla smells good. All right, while that's going, let's talk a little bit about this. This is called malted milk powder, and you can find it in the baking aisle of most all grocery stores. It's malted milk powder, and you'll need that because that's what gives it that flavor. Stir that in. And then slowly, we're going to add a little bit of butter, not butter, flour. I need a little scoop. Let me grab a little scoop. I don't want to add it all at once. I just want to add it a little bit at a time. And then when it gets mostly mixed in, go ahead and add. I'm going to turn it up just a little. Add a little more. This is just all-purpose flour. Okay. Now you scrape down my sides. Get all of that out of there so it can get incorporated. Scrape down your sides of your bowl ever so often. If you do not have a stand mixer, you can use just a regular hand mixer. It's fine. Okay. Now let that go again. This dough is a stiffer dough. Remember that. Let that mix. You're going to need a couple of baking sheet pans, cookie sheet pans. And I have some here that I have lined with parchment paper. Do not spray it, just the parchment paper. Okay, that looks good. All right, now let's get this out of here. Out of the whisk. Come on, you. All righty, now get that all out of there. You're going to roll this into 1-inch balls. For that, I like to use a little mini ice cream scoop. Now, this is a stiff dough. Just scrape to the bottom. Get all of that mixed in there. Wash my hands. That whisk attachment is letting go of some metal somehow for some reason. I don't know why. I think it got stuck in the dishwasher, and I think sometimes when you put your mixtures like that, or your metals like that in the dishwasher, it really just etches that outside edge. I need to do something about that one. All right. I like a little mini scoop. I just think it makes it much easier, and your balls are all the same size. So just take it, put it in your hand, roll it, and you want them about 2.5-ish inches apart. And then we're going to bake these, and then we're going to make a chocolate glaze to go over them. Let's see, about 2 inches or so. All right, I'm just going to keep rolling these out. All right, now here are all of our malted ball cookies, and we're going to get these in the oven, and they're going to bake for about 14 or 15 minutes until they are, firm to the touch on the top, and the bottoms are good and golden. We're going to pop those in the oven. Then we're going to glaze them with some chocolate. So let's get these in the oven at 350 degrees. Well, let me pop those right there. Let's check a peek at the shortbread. Oh, yeah. Oh, that smells so incredibly good. All right, I'm going to clean up my mess, and when I come back, we are going to make a white chocolate oatmeal cookie. I'll be back in just a minute. All righty, now we are going to make a white chocolate oatmeal cookie. I have 2 sticks of butter. Notice there's a theme here with the butter. Cookies use butter. And I really do believe with cookies you need butter, not margarine. It has a totally different water content. I'm going to add some light brown sugar. I'm going to whip that together. Your butter needs to be at room temperature. I'm going to add 2 eggs, one at a time. Let it get fully incorporated before you add the other one. I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla. Just let that go. Scrape down our sides. All righty. Scrape it down. That's just something you got to do with a stand mixer, or any mixer really. Okay, let that go for just a second. We're gonna have, I've got here some all-purpose flour, some baking soda, some nutmeg, and some cinnamon, and a little bit of salt. I'm gonna whisk all that together. Then I'm gonna add this to this. Oh, cinnamon smells so good. Again, a little bit at a time. Let's turn it down just a little. I just use this is just a little half-cup scoop, but just any size. You just want to add it a little bit at a time. And then let it get almost mixed in before you add in the next. It just incorporates better and you don't end up wearing it. Okay. Alrighty. Then when you get down to your last little bit in your bowl, you can add it in there. Alright. Now, let me rinse out my scoop. I washed it and dry it off here because I'm going to need my scooper again. If you bake a lot of cookies, these little ice cream scoops in various sizes are really handy to have. Especially this little one for ice cream scoop. I don't see a number on this. It's about a tablespoon though. Now, once that's almost mixed in, you're gonna add some oats. Don't use steel cut, use the old-fashioned oats. Some white chocolate chips, or chopped up white chocolate, whatever you want. And then I'm using some dried cranberries. You could use dried cherries, or you could even use raisins. I'm not a fan of raisins, but I love little dried cranberries, so I'm using those, but you could use any little dried fruit that you like. And if you don't like dried fruit, just leave it out, it's fine. And that's it. Okay, we gotta get all that mixture out of those prongs. Just take your little, you could use the paddle attachment after you whip your butter if you wanted to, but I don't want to wash 2 things, so I'll just use this and then just do what I'm doing, it's fine. These doughs, by the way, can be made ahead, and you can go ahead and scoop them out, freeze them in a single layer, And when they're frozen, put them in Ziploc baggies and you've got dough ready to go for when you want to bake. You just bake them from frozen, but add a couple of minutes to your time. Come on, you, get out of there. Let's see, I need a little, get out, dough, all right. Now, I love oatmeal cookies, and I love the frosted oatmeal cookies too. This is not a frosted recipe, this is just oatmeal cookie. Take your scoop or your spatula, and once again, remember, always at the bottom of your mixer, when you use a stand mixer, you're going to have a little bit of dry material that did not get stirred in. So make sure that you go down in there and get all of that stirred in to your dough. And then I am actually going to get this off of here for a minute. Let's go set it here. I have 2 baking sheets, again lined with parchment paper, and my little trusty ice cream scoop. And you want to drop this by the spoonfuls onto your baking sheet, again about 2 inches apart.
Shortbread should be done.
And then pop them into a 325-degree oven for about 10 minutes. Check them. Make sure they're completely done. And I'll show you what they look like when they come out of the oven. All right. All right, now our multi-ball cookies are done. They are cooled, and you can see the bottoms are golden, the tops are set. Now, in this glass dish, I just have some semi-sweet chocolate that I melted, about a cup or so, with 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. And the reason I have the vegetable oil is to give it a glossy appearance. What you want to do is take the chocolate and drizzle it over top of each cookie. Remember, I told you this is kind of like those multi-ball cookies. So you want to do it on your parchment paper, and then we'll transfer it to our serving dish. You could sprinkle these with some little sanding sugar if you want to, or while the chocolate's wet, put little sprinkles of some sort on there. Whatever you want to do is fine. Oh, I love these. I love Whoppers, the malted ball Whopper cookie. Oh, I love them. And again, you can find that malted milk powder in the baking section of your grocery store. Just going to finish frosting these guys and get them on my serving tray. Be back in just a second. All righty, now, here are our oatmeal and white chocolate. And I use dried cranberries, but again, you could use raisins or dried cherries or whatever kind of dried fruit you want. Or you could just, you don't have to put the dried fruit in there. You can just leave that out. Maybe increase the white chocolate more, or you could use nuts if you wanted to make those cookies, but add some chopped pecans or walnuts. That would be delicious. Here are our multi-ball cookies that we covered with our chocolate. Just melted milk chocolate with about a tablespoon of vegetable oil, canola oil. The reason I do that is it gives that shiny coating as it hardens, and it just is delicious. If you like Whoppers, the candy, little chocolate-covered candy multi-balls that have been around forever, one of my favorite candies, then you're going to love this. This is our shortbread that needs to cool. Now, this needs to cool completely before you cut into it. So at least an hour or more. This is our peanut butter shortbread cookie. It is still warm, so I'm not going to cut it. I'm going to let it cool before I do, but you could totally make this ahead, any of these ahead. I wouldn't frost the cookies until you're ready to serve, but you could make the dough ahead and freeze it so that when you are ready to bake the cookies, whether you're doing a Christmas gathering or just for you or just for your family or whoever or wherever. This is not something exclusive to Christmas either. These would make great little snacks anytime, anywhere. But these are just some easy cookie recipes that you could make this Christmas season in your home for your friends and family. I love to bake cookies. My mom did it when I was little. That's just something she had a table full. Her dining room table was always just full of cookies and things like that at Christmas time. So here's some ideas for you. Thank you for joining with me. Have a very Merry Christmas, and we will see you next time on Everyday Manna.